So you're getting ready to do your roof and it's going into wintertime and you're asking yourself, can you roof in the wintertime? The answer is yes, if you want the short answer. The long answer, well, that's what this video is going to be about. Just got a phone call from somebody down in Carmel looking at getting the roof done potentially. Different contractors came out and said, oh yeah, you can do it. And with the Tamco Titan, you can roof down into 25 degrees. They're going to actually seal down. That's what this video is going to be about. The good, the bad, the ugly, the things you may not know and be aware of. So we're going to grab the Tamco shingle right here in my cold warehouse. It's cold out right now. 2 brand new shingles right out of a pack from testing that I did earlier this year. Back on August 1st, I went to the Tamco product show. Tamco shingles right there. August 2nd, I did these shingles right here, right outside that door over there in the sun, and I have not touched these since. They've been on the back of the rack. The phone call came in about getting the roof done, and a couple of contractors said, oh yeah, you can do it. One of them specifically spelled out that Tamco said you can install these shingles down to 25 degrees, they'll actually seal and start activating. Well, so can you install? Yeah, you can put a roof down, but is it gonna last? And also, by the way, I'm gonna go grab a couple other varying brands of shingles. We're gonna do this side by side because this video is by no way meant to knock Tamco or any one specific shingle. I don't care if you have the best shingle out there. This video is gonna say and basically debunk, yeah, you can't roof in the wintertime, or you can, but it's not gonna stick, it's not gonna hold up, it's not gonna seal down, and manufacturers are not gonna stand behind their warranty. I'm also going to show the other varying brands because it's not so much about the shingle and the shingle quality, it's more so about the install practice. That's the biggest thing. You can have the best asphalt shingle with gold covered granules. If it's installed in cold weather, it's going to be a shit install. So let's just check this out real quick because it is freezing here. It is December 2nd. We just opened back up because we've been closed for Thanksgiving. Infrared scanner. We're going to check the temperature down here on the ground. Because when I woke up this morning, it was 14 degrees and 3-degree wind chill. It's 28 degrees now from this concrete being in the sun. By the way, the sun has now since gone into the clouds because it was out right here. OSB sheet I just brought out a minute ago to prep for this. 25 degrees because we've warmed up. We've warmed up to the temperature they say they're going to activate. Are you dealing with a salesman or an installer? Do you want a salesman opinion or do you want an installer's opinion? I can tell you, I was an installer from early 2000 on. Foreman position for over 10 years, and working with the guys on the job, you're freezing, your toes are numb, your hands are cold, and you can't feel your fingertips, so shit slides by, shingles get snapped, nails blow through shingles, but that's not what this video is about. Can you roof in the winter? All right, brand new, right out of the pack. You hear that? That's a good classic sound. They're cold. Now to be clear, this is not a SBS polymer modified shingle. They're referring to this starting to activate in the sun, or not even in the sun. Their thing was at 25 degrees it'll activate. We're at 25 degrees. Actually, when I did a Google search, it was warmer than that. Check the weather, but we're just going to check some varying things here real quick. 26 degrees is the ground temperature. The board's been out here for about 5 minutes. We're at 23 or so. This is going to be warmer because it was facing the sun a little bit ago. 30 degrees. It actually was reading 60 when the sun was out. The shingle, 26 degrees. So we're right at that temperature. We're literally at that sweet spot that this contractor said it's perfectly fine to do the install. And the sun looks like it might be wanting to poke through a little bit. By the way, we're also facing south where the sun is. So if you've got a roof that maybe faces east and west, you're going to get the morning sun, the evening sun. Or if you've got a hip house or varying faces that faces the north, you're not going to get any sun, especially if it's a steeper roof. And ask me how I know, because it happened to me. And I'll explain that here in a little bit. So the shingles I did, this specific shingle shot right over there on August 1st, I did. You could take your thumb and push into this and it would stick. You could literally stick it and pull the shingle up because it sticks from being squishy. I don't know about you, but that is not looking promising. We're going to throw this up here. 2 shingles really all we need for this test. This is going to simulate the first shingle. Well, I guess I don't have the starter row down here, but just sticking to the deck surface or if it's under paper, ice, and whatever. Normally you throw a shingle down like this on a warm day or even 50, 60 degrees, they're going to start to kind of seal down. And this one here is going to simulate what it sticks to on the shingle. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go in for a quick minute, assuming it was nailed in the correct area. And we're going to see what these read here in a minute. One last quick reading right here, a couple spots. 26 degrees. 26, what about the green? There's no sun. Typically, if you have sun, it might warm up a little bit more in the darker area. I'll go back inside and talk for a minute because it's cold out here. And then we'll come back out here and look at these Tamco shingles, throw a few more brands out, whatever. I'll try to keep this a semi-short impromptu video because it's just really cold right now and I got a lot to do. All right, so there's varying contractors out there. You're gonna have some where it's the owner you'll never see. You're gonna deal with receptionists, salesmen, project managers, installers. This video is not about any of that or one being better than another. What it comes down to is, can you install in the winter? If you've got storm damage, if you've got a hole in your roof, if you've got a leaky roof or a tornado blew it apart, then yes, you need to get your roof done. I'm not saying don't do it, because I've done videos like this before and people are hating on me, and I'm giving you my personal opinion from my experience of 23 years doing roofing. Is it good? No, it's not. Now, if you're near the equator, like Florida or something, it's always warm. Yeah, big difference. Or the southern hemisphere at a different time of the year, like they're having summer right now. The thing is temperature. On that note, most manufacturers across the board, they'll say cold weather install, you got to follow these procedures. What might that be? It's very hard to find out, but if you look, there's gonna be a little asterisk by it. If you really dig in and try to find this, they want 3 dabs of approved sealer under every shingle. During the install, lift up a shingle, put 3 dabs of sealer. Maybe you put it on top, put the next shingle down. Or maybe you do the entire roof and you go row by row, shingle by shingle, putting 3 dabs of sealer. Nobody's ever done that. In my 23 years, never heard of a company doing it. Ain't nobody got time for that. It costs too much money. They're not going to do it. Trust me, I know. Now, you have a big varying opinion on contractors saying, yes, it's fine to do. They're thinking money. They got clogged vision up here. They want that money. They want to go to the bank and deposit the money. Can it be done? Yes. Is it going to hold up? No. And hopefully you'll get kind of an idea in this before you spend tens of thousands of dollars to get your roof done in the winter. Now, it's not to say that on the tail end of winter, coming out of winter, maybe it's a little chilly, but they got warmer days predicted and more warm days in the near future as opposed to cold days behind you. Big difference then, say, end of October, November-ish, going into the winter. Because here was 14 degrees today, negative, or as a 3-degree wind chill out. We're going into the cold weather. Kokomo, Indiana, 1 hour north of the big Indianapolis 500 race, central Indiana area. Pretty much anywhere where you're at freezing or below for several months, it's a bad idea. We're going to run out there and check this because before, when I did it, they activated pretty quick within minutes. I mean, I'll link the video or put it in the description, a card up here if YouTube still allows that, to when I shot this video August 1st at the product demo, August 2nd in the shop with the shingles. By the way, let's go look at those shingles. So these were done, as I said, right out here. Have not touched them one bit. They've been on this board way back in the back on the wall over there. I just dug it out to show you guys this. On the wood, it's literally stuck down. I mean, I could peel it. We're going to peel it here in a minute so you can see what it's doing. This one's stuck here. These are not nailed down. So when this shingle is nailed, and it needs to be nailed in the right area, the next shingle sticks to that spot. Otherwise, it'll flop in the wind. We're going to show you that on the outside. Let's try to peel this loose. I mean, this is a sealed down shingle. All right, so you've got mat transfer. Let's check this side over here, pin it down, lift up if I can get my hand under it. That shingle is stuck down. For the sake of science here. So you've got a little dab here. You've got some missing here on the granules below. You have mat transfer where that has completely pulled off. It's on the shingle below. This will never seal down again, and that's important. You can see what it's done here. There's no seal strip, okay? Why is that important? We're going to talk about that in relation to the shingles right out there. This will never, ever stick again. Never. There's no seal strip there. It's completely compromised, mat transfer. That is a good indication of wind damage. That's what they call mat transfer. Let's see what this bottom does. Now, typically, it's not going to be sticking to OSB like this. You're going to be on another shingle. Still compromised, nevertheless. All right, so these had maybe a few hours. I don't even think it was a day in the sun. We're going to go check these real quick. Boop. 30 degrees. 30 degrees. I don't know about you, not stuck. You're saying in the back of your mind, you're out loud, Brian, but wait, it's going to sit in the sun all day. I'll leave this all day and I'll do another updated video, but I can tell you, it's not going to stick. Now, what I wanted to point out with this, trying to stick, trying to activate at this so-called 26-degree temperature here, if it starts to stick a little bit right here, but you have more cold winter wind days ahead of you than you do warm days to adequately seal down, it may be stuck a little bit here and not here, or it may be stuck here and here and not here. When it starts to stick but not stuck good enough and it peels up like this, you're going to get little granules where it's stuck to popping out. Those granules are never going to embed and re-stick. Basically, you're going to compromise the integrity of the seal strip. Again, ask me how I know. I worked for a company years back that did a job going into winter. It's a bad idea. It's cold. Like right now, my fingers are cold. It's miserable. On top of the quality of the guys rushing things, it's not going to stick. Guess what? It blew apart in one of the next winter winds. And for months, he was fighting it back and forth. And next thing you know, the homeowner got a brand new roof and trusted this contractor to do this job, but yet their brand new roof has patch marks all over it. Doesn't look good, doesn't last good. If your roof is not leaking, give it a couple months. That's all it is. Just give it a few months. December right now, first part of December. December, January, February, those are months I would not recommend at all. Now, a caveat, again, if you got damage, or they're calling for some crazy warm weather that might last for a day or two, and you want to sneak it in, yes, it should start sticking down. Is it still really adequate? Because that sliver of window, the contractor's going to try to get all the jobs in. They're not going to get done. They're not going to get a chance to seal down. So I guess the point of the story, to wrap this 12 minute video up, do you want to risk it and put thousands of dollars in it based on somebody's opinion that has a clouded judgment based on money, or not? I didn't throw the other shingle brands out. We're going to try that. There are a few more brands out here on another piece of wood or something so you can see, but I can tell you, they're not going to stick down. I'll even give it a couple hours and even put some weight down there, simulating maybe the installer standing on these shingles as he's roofing and putting the next shingle on and roofing. Is it going to stick down? No. In the summertime, if you just throw that down right there and you do this, it's already started to squish in because it's more viscous. It sticks and causes a vacuum. I did it on that video on that board in there. I'm cold. Let's go check that out real quick. These are those shingles I did it to a few months back. Warm weather. I'll wrap this one up. I'm cold. Maybe I'll do an updated video for this can your roof in the wintertime. Go back out there. Let me know if you have any desire to see. I could put a time-lapse camera with an old clock ticking in the time-lapse so you can see. Maybe you could see shadows and sun come and go. Give it a day, hell, give it a week. Put a thermometer by it so you can see the temperature. If you have any desire for that, comment down below. We're going into a good time of year to do that. I mean, it wouldn't be hard. I'll even go buy a clock. There's one out there, maybe throw a battery in it. Buy an old style mercury thermometer or something. And I'll do a solid day or a solid week time lapse so you can see the weather patterns, the temperature and things with the clock on it. And then we'll go manipulate the shingles and see for you guys. If you have a desire to see that, let me know. We'll try to get a little more scientific with it. But what more scientific way do you need than to ask the installer that really does it, that did it for a living, that does it for a living, that used to do it as that guy being told basically with a whip, get out there. All right? I could go on forever. Those guys are going to tell you one thing. It really means a lot when you got a contractor saying it's not good. It's really not good. Don't pay me right now to do this. Just wait for warmer weather. Versus the guy that says, yep, it can be done. Because I can tell you, he's smiling because he's going to the bank with your money. How's that good classic saying going, Tommy boy? You can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking your head up a bull's ass. But wouldn't you rather take the butcher's word for it? Until next time, be safe. We'll see you then.